Hello and welcome to Stage 2 of Victory or Valhalla, where we are racing for the Aston Martin Valhalla concept car. Stage 1 had me really impressed with this car. It has incredible grip and very nice balance when you're driving this thing. Feels much more like a race car than a street car. So as far as being like the little brother to the Valkyrie, this car so far with no upgrades at all is really impressive. And I don't think we're going to have much trouble today, but we'll see. Here, I was feathering the throttle a bit because I don't want to win by too big of a margin. Again, at this point, all I can do is bot management. I can't slow down the bots anymore by losing because I am now below recommended PR. Remember, this is recommended PR, not required PR. Recently, I've had people asking me, how could you enter that race when you didn't have the required PR? Well, that's because it's not a required PR race. So apparently a lot of people don't notice that. You can see it right before I enter a race. It'll say recommended PR. Now, we've got to hunt down Ahmed here. And I'm not sure if this will be much of a problem or not. I don't think it will be based on how fast I caught him. Mind you, bots sometimes brake for that chicane, they overbrake. Oh, it looks like all these bots are driving their hypercars kind of slow. Yeah, because these cars, these are fast cars. Ooh boy, that actually looked like another Valhalla. Okay, so I don't think this is going to be a problem. We've got 2 laps to get this done. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to end the race too early. So I don't want to get all my following done in just lap 1. But I'm going to make sure I get a good chunk in. That doesn't really look like a Valkyrie. Not at all. That's not a Valkyrie. That's an Apollo. Huh. Well, I guess there's a new storyline then. I was expecting a Valkyrie because the storyline said that Ahmed had, stole the Valkyrie? Well, okay, well, they're trying to make this a little bit interesting. As you can see, not much of a problem. He's kind of probably gapped me pretty good here. That Apollo has ridiculous acceleration. It's a weird car, that Apollo. It can hit its top speed all over the place and handles really strangely off track. Like, it's a weird car. It almost feels like it has bad brakes even though it doesn't. I don't know. It's unique. I'll say that. It's a unique car. I like that. Certainly handles differently than anything else in the game. It feels a little bit like some of the Bugattis when you're braking in it, but I think that's just, I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, so I'm not trying to rough this guy up too much. I don't want to get hurt. Pretty sure it said, yes, don't want to get excessive. I don't know if it said no damage. At first he said run him off the road, then he said don't scratch the car. But, oh well. Getting pretty close to the end of the lap here. I'll end this pretty soon. I don't want to let him get... Oh, wait a second. I'm wrong. I'm not that close. Well, I'm getting closer now. Just got a tiny bit left to go, and I know he's going to substantially overbrake for the last chicane. So I might just wait till then. But I don't want to take this to the start-finish line, because he's going to gap me. So yeah, I might as well get this done right around here. Oops, I didn't mean to tag you. There we go. Again, that was no problem at all. And I guess now we find out what's going on. What's with all of this nonsense? Oh, well, apparently Chip didn't notice that that's not a Valkyrie. Oh, well. Okay, so this one, I wasn't sure about the fuel, how long that would last. So you're going to notice that I'm not getting on the brakes all that early. What I'm doing is I'm actually getting out of the gas early. I'm getting in some coasting. This is just to make sure that I have enough fuel. Because I'm guessing that he's driving the same as he was in the last stage. He might not. Sometimes bots can really increase in difficulty from one stage to the next. However, if I would have looked at the PR requirement, I probably would have seen it should be the same. I'm thinking if there's a PR jump, it would be in the last race, though I didn't really pay attention to that. Well, very easy to catch up to him. And I could either stay behind him and draft for a while, or not, and just see how this goes. Let's see how he overbrakes for this. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was taking it really easy there. So he's right behind me. I'm going to actually late brake just a little bit because I don't want him to overtake me. That was a big no-no. And then we'll blast our way through some of the rest of this. You know what's funny is that I'll probably end up fully upgrading this car at a point because I am so impressed with this car. It's just fabulous. This is exactly what I look for in this game, is a car with really good handling like this. I'm really surprised at the grip level for a street car. Like, you know, like the Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Bugattis, they're nice, but a lot of those, the street version of those cars, it's just straight line speed. For most of them, you know, not all of them, but you know, you get into an FXXK, well, that's not a street car. So you get a lot of cars that are really slippery and honestly kind of frustrating to drive. Whereas this thing feels great right out of the box. Not that I received the car in a box, but you know what I mean. Okay, I still have lots of fuel, and Ahmed is way back there. Like, I'm not really on the brakes at all. Just sitting here coasting. Again, coasting, and then we're full throttle through this. Like, this is so easy so far. I'm pretty sure you could be doing this with heavy assists and it wouldn't be bothering you. Although we'll see. For this stage, it might be necessary to switch to manual throttle. I don't know if it actually gives you the option to use tilt A. I think they usually were taking that away when it came to fuel mileage events, but I didn't hear them saying anything about it. So if you're having trouble, oh yeah, I am getting kind of low on fuel. Yeah, if you're having trouble, then you need to switch to some sort of manual accelerator so you can coast. Huh, I'm kind of surprised at that. Yeah, and I did a lot of fuel saving, so that could be trouble for some people. Well, if you're having trouble, switch to tilt B. That's what I would recommend. And you could still use brake assist if you're that's the way you're driving, but eventually you should be taking that stuff off. It'll make you a better racer, but don't get me wrong, I know it takes time to learn no assist racing. Okay, so obviously the jig is up, and now we're having to race Ahmed again, and we have to win in order for him to tell us what's going on. Well, of course, we have to win because we want to earn this car and not just play around. Okay, so same PR, recommended is 95.4. I just went back and checked, and that's exactly what stage 3 was. So yeah, he's going to take off at the start because that's an Apollo. It's just got ridiculous acceleration, but then he's going to overbrake, right? Right. And I'm going to take this wide, see if I can pass him. Oop, a little bit risky there. Get in a bit of draft. And I got to be careful because he's going to overbrake for this corner. I can probably take him right here if I wanted to. Yep, there we go. Nice clean over, oh, a little tap, but fairly clean overtake. I drove it in a little bit deep, not concerned. No reason to go off track here. No reason to shove him off the track. I mean, I guess I could draw the race out a little bit longer. The downside of being forced to win is that does increase bot difficulty. So the only thing we can control here is how big of a margin we win by, and you could make the race last longer by slowing Ahmed up a bit. I really didn't think of that. Probably should have done that a little bit. But I got some extra slowing in. In stage 1, there was an endurance race, and it was possible to do old school bot slowing where you just quit, retry, pardon me. We're getting a little bit tongue-tied here. So that's an interesting trick. It didn't let us lower it too much, but I was able to lower the targets a bit just using the old school trick because I was still at recommended PR. Now I am not. Okay, well, there we go. You can see no upgrades at all. And here we get the rest of the story. Let's see here. Well, Chip is mad and Ahmed is talking things up. Okay, let's see this. Well, it's getting interesting. Looks like they might be setting up the stage for someone else to come along. Oh, perfect. I'd love to race Magnus again. That should be fabulous. Oh, and now Chip has to convince him. Well, okay. There we go. See you tomorrow.